he was teaching us that even this brain that we so value is not where the energy is at. That the soul is where the energy is. And that the brain is a tool of the soul. And that the soul can in fact grow a brain if it wanted to. And I will recite the Aramaic prayer that he taught that for me is the most potent of all Kabbalistic prayers. And it goes something like this. In the, you probably have heard that there is, remember the handbook, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? You ever see that one? You know that one, right?
42.
And they go to the great computer and they ask the great computer, what's the meaning of life and everything else? And the computer says, go away for 1,000 years, nothing just about it. And they come back, and 1,000 years later, the computer says, I have the answer, you're not going to like it. Remember what the answer was?
42.
The answer was 42. Now, it seems like a silly thing, doesn't it? Yeah, 42. It turns out it's not a silly thing at all. Because 42 is really where the action is. There are 42 places. For example, it said, and then the children of Israel are escaping Egypt, escaping slavery. Escaping from the Pharaoh. What we learn through the study of the Kabbalah is that Egypt is a code name, if you will, for the desires that we all have. That we demand that things be different than they are. Pharaoh is the ego. So now we know what we're running from. Our desires and our ego, and it's catching up to us. And in front of us is the Red Sea, impenetrable, impossible. Everything behind us is the past. All the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Everything in front of us is the future, the what ifs and if nots. And all we have is the power of now, which is the faith required to go beyond the scariness of the future. And so the 42 places go like this. And then the children of Israel escape Egypt. And from Egypt, they go into Moab, where they pitch their tent and they rest. And from Moab, they go into Jericho, where they pitch their tent and they rest. And from Jericho, they go into Etobicoke, where they pitch their tent and they rest. Guess how many places they pitch and tent?
42.
Yeah, 42. There are 42 words in an Aramaic prayer. And these are the words here. You can even say them along with me if you can see them. The words themselves are wonderful. The prayer itself is wonderful, but that's really, again, not where the action is. And as you can see, it's read from this way to this way. So it reads, Anna b'koach gedulati minecha tateh tzerura. Ta'aber binat amecha servenu ta'arenu Torah. Na gibor doshe Yehudecha ki bevat shamrem. V'achem tacharem lechamid tzidketecha tamid gamrem. Chasim kadosh berov tufkarnael adetecha. Yachi ge'e le'amcha b'nei zochei kedushatecha. Shavatenu kabel u'shma tzakatenu yodea ta'almo. So it's a beautiful prayer in and of itself, but that's still not where the action is. In the Hebrew language, every letter of the Hebrew alphabet has a numerical value. A is 1, B is 2, etc., etc. These things add up to certain things. So the first letters of each of these is a formula. The first one is Aleph Bet Gimel Yud Taf Tzadik, the numerical value of Ahavat Chinam, love for no reason. And that's where we are asked to begin our meditation. In unconditional love. Have you ever experienced it? Have you given it? Have you received it? Have you seen it? Unconditional love. And so this prayer invites us to start with the principle of unconditional love and then go further. So with that, I would like to ignite this candle to my teacher, and Alice, I'm going to ask for your help in describing the Yud Gid. We are told in the Old Testament that we are made in the image of our likeness, we are made in the image of our God, our Creator. And so the question is, what does the Creator look like? Do we know? And the closest thing we have as a clue to the Creator is the Creator's name. In the Hebrew language, these letters, Now, these are the four letters that make up the name of the Creator. Hold one, hold two, yeah, hold, I have third and the fourth. These are the four letters that make up the name of the Creator. When we see every prayer in the Hebrew language, every prayer, has as its third name this. Baruch atah, what is the next word? Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai. But there is no D in this word. There is no N in this word. Yet we pronounce it Adonai. The reason we look like our Creator is not because of the sound of His name, but because of the way it is shaped. It is not written from right to left or left to right. It is in fact written from top to bottom, so that the head and the shoulders and the arms and the heart and the spine and the hips and the legs turn slowly. We are made in the image of our Creator. If this was a glyph sent to a spacecraft, they kind of know what we look like. We look like our Creator. And with that, I'd like to do the final song of the evening. And I'm going to need you to turn off the lights, if that's possible. Is it possible to turn off all lights?
I have no idea, but
Gary?
Gary may know.
Is it possible to turn off all